Continue from my last video on the Norman store robbery. This whole strange turn of events caught the attention of psychologists, and they started digging into what makes hostages sympathize with their captors. They defined the term Stockholm syndrome, a phenomenon where victims start to bond with their kidnappers. They identified 4 key factors that makes this happen. The victim feels their life is in real danger. The criminal shows small acts of kindness like giving food or water. The victim is completely isolated with no hope of rescue. And over time, the victim feels totally powerless, trapped under the criminal's control. When all these boxes are ticked, Stockholm syndrome kicks in. It's not as rare as you'd think. There's another real case. A murder in China in 2011. A criminal Hao imprisoned 6 teenage girls in a cramped, smelly room underground in the cellar of his home. The police first went down to the dark and narrow basement. It was barely wide enough for an adult to squeeze through. After 3.4 meters down a ladder, they found a narrow passageway for another 4.7 meters that they needed to crawl through. As they reached the final iron door after another 6 ones, they heard a girl's faint, desperate voices. "You finally brought us food." Inside were 6 girls, but the officers only counted 4, and a girl pointing to the ground. The missing girls had been murdered by Hao and the other girls due to rivalry between them and buried right underneath their feet. After hours of coaxing, the girls were finally willing to leave their precious prison. The tiny cell was divided into 2 levels. The upper for living and the lower was cluttered with supplies like gas tanks and shampoo. The captor Hao was a low-paid worker, had kidnapped these young women for the quick and easy money from online chatting. The youngest girl was just 18 and the oldest 24. To prevent escape, he had dug this pit 2 years earlier. This task was easy for him because he was a firefighter. Once the basement was ready, he bought a computer and forced the girls to chat. Meanwhile, he monitored them closely. After each session, they were sent back into the dark and he cut the internet cable. A year later, his online business became worse, so he shifted to providing services in person. And only by then, one of the girls got her chance to escape and ran to the police. Even when Hao was captured, some girls still defended him.